welcome back. The month of April is recognized as National Financial Literacy Month. According to a recent study, nearly 40% of Americans say they have less than $500 in cash savings.
And that's right. And most respondents say their savings accounts are shrinking amid ongoing inflation, high interest rates, and a shaky job market. Here's now to share some tips is the founder and CEO of Good News Financial and Investment Advisors, LLC, Dr. Jovan Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Brandon. Good to see you both again.
Good to see you as well. So right off the top, can you share with our younger viewers why it is important to have a financial plan now rather than later?
Well, before we can even start with planning, it's all about awareness. That's what financial literacy, a lot of times we start to focus on a lot of complicated strategy, but it really starts with intentionality and awareness. It's definitely better to first start with where your money is going now, right? And that's what a plan does. It really helps you to see where your money is going because we can't fix what we can't track, okay? So I encourage all of the younger generations, everybody, older generations, to really look over their last 30 days of spending and identify where that money is going, because once we can quickly identify where the gaps are, it really helps you to build for the future.
And what about fear market panic? People who are concerned about protecting their savings, what would you advise?
In terms of fear of market panic, we don't want to react emotionally. Yes, there's a lot happening in the market right now, but ideally you want to just make sure that you manage and optimize what you currently have. If you are concerned about the market, then you may want to connect with an advisor to help you with some capital preservation strategies. But a lot of times we kind of jump in and out and we react based on fear, and that causes us to lose and miss a lot of opportunities.
What are some of the negative trends that you're seeing people make right now with their money, and what do you advise that they do to counter some of those mistakes?
Absolutely. Avoid some of those silent wealth killers, such as high interest debt. Okay. Secondly, a lot of people are overpaying their taxes. We just came out of tax season, and so many people think typically that getting a refund is a good thing, but really it's not. And one of the last things I typically see is people having money sitting without a strategy. So those are like the top 3 common mistakes that we typically see.
And what advice would you have for people who are trying to plan for retirement, thinking about what to do with those 401ks?
Well, again, we have to get out of the DIY approach. A lot of times people are trying to figure things out on their own, or they're using YouTube University. And so I would really encourage our audience, our community, to really connect with an advisor, because when it comes to your 401ks and different employer-sponsored plans, there's a lot of rules and regulations that exist there. And so ideally, I would say just focus on contributing as much as you possibly can, because at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that you do have enough to maintain your existing lifestyle. But I highly suggest connecting with a retirement planner so that all of the different buckets and the different facets of retirement planning are in place, not just a one-size-fits-all or a quick fix strategy.
And with the rising cost of gas, groceries, and energy bills, what are some ways that you would advise people to stay on track with their saving strategy?
Having a budget and really identify spending their money with purpose and not emotion. I really encourage our listeners to categorize their spending into 3 buckets. A needs bucket, which includes your housing costs, food, bills, necessities. Then there's the goals bucket, which categorizes your savings goals, your investment goals, and then the rest is lifestyle, keeping the rest of that in lifestyle. Unfortunately, a lot of time, most of our resources, our listeners' resources, are allocated to lifestyle, and that's usually where the problem is. So if we can kind of reset and reallocate to make sure the spending every dollar has an assignment, every dollar has a job, and make sure it's allocated proportionately in those three buckets. That will really help with the rising costs and making sure that you're managing and optimizing your cash flow.
All right, very sound advice there. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackson. We certainly appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you both.
And if you would like to get more tips from Dr. Jackson, you can visit her at the Good News Financial and Investment Advisors LLC offices located in Landover.
Or you can go to goodnewsfinancialservices.com.